Welcome to this week's Speaker Growth Series. And today is a little bit different. And I'm going to talk about wanting to do work that really feels like you, wanting to speak about things that really reflect you. Now, as you're receiving this in your inbox, whether you're watching it on YouTube, on the socials, sorry, got a really itchy nose. I am, if my calculations are right, I've just completed 2 weeks in Vietnam and I'm about to head off to Greece for the next 3 weeks. And this is exactly what I wanted in my life. The life that I wanted to create was that I was the owner of my time and I could do life with who I want, when I want, how I want, get paid, travel the world, have experiences, and get paid for the very thing that I used to get in trouble for at school. That was talking too much. Talking too much. I was like, oh, imagine that. Imagine the very thing that you were told that no, you can't do that because that's what lit you up, is the very thing that you used to make money from. Yeah. Now, I didn't know it at the time because some of you may or may not know my story, but I love to talk. I love to talk. In fact, when I was 4 or 5, I think I did my first stage performance in preschool, and I was singing on the good chip lollipop. And being an only child, getting in front of the camera, the video, and having my dad videoing me dancing, speaking, singing, whatever, just lit me up, right? But in my schooling, right, what ended up happening is a lot of the times the teachers were like, Michelle's a great student, but the problem is she speaks too much. She's a bit of a chatterbox. She distracts people. Now, do you know what happens to a little girl who's told that she's too much, she speaks too much? She starts to shut down. She starts to shut down her voice. She starts to shut down her light, her sparkle. And then from there, right up to even into my 30s, I developed social anxiety disorder, really afraid to speak up, to share my ideas, my voice. And my whole life was programmed to do things that was what other people wanted me to do and not from what I really wanted to do. Now, fast forward to my 40s, to 40, when I was surprised and pregnant with my third child. I was really upset at the time when I found out I was pregnant because I was like, you're not part of my plan. My plan was I was going to go to New York and I was on the corporate career ladder. I was climbing the corporate ladder. I was close to my next big promotion. And it's like, oh, right? And until I held that little baby in my arms, I remembered what it was like to be a mum again. Because sure, I was also a mum to twin boys who were 10 at the time, but I became so disconnected from them, so disconnected from life, because I was so focused on my corporate career. And it wasn't till a few months in when here I am holding my little boy and my twin boys, and it was coming up to their birthday, and I had no idea what to buy them because I didn't know them. And that was a really pivotal point because I said, God, they're just growing so fast. I don't even know who my boys are. Who is my husband? Who am I now? And I was going through my own identity shift and crisis. But what I did know is that I had a choice to do things differently. And that's when I started my pathway of, I want to find out how to do life differently. How can I control my time, get paid for, doing what I love, to be that mum, to have my health, my well-being, all of that. How do I do that? So that journey started, it's now 9 years ago, because my little one is now 9. And in that whole, there's been a whole plethora of things that have come through, challenges, deaths, depression, all of that, right? But at the core of it, I always wanted to do work that feels like me. And in that entire journey, I came back to the thing that I love to do, speaking. I was remembering, I was put in a position to, in many different positions that led me to where I am today, but that came and brought me back to who I am from the core, from my soul. Because success without soul, without your truth, just doesn't work anymore. It leads to burnout. It leads to unfulfillment. It leads to depression. It leads to, why the fuck am I here? So if you're feeling like you've ticked all the boxes, career-wise, income-wise, maybe even influence, but something still feels within you quiet, persistent, like a misalignment, like you're craving work that reflects who you truly are, your values, your voice, and your vision, and not just your skill set. The thing that really lights you up. Maybe it's the thing you got in trouble for at school. My intention for today is to help you realize that that voice within you, her voice, is not just a communication tool. It's the blueprint. It's your blueprint for building a life and a business that actually feels like you. And the more and more we don't listen to her voice, that internal voice, the more and more we are doing a disservice to what truly lights you up, to what your soul is here to do, to be your most brilliant self, to shine, to sparkle. Maybe you've built something that really looks good on paper. Maybe you've got the career that maybe your parents wanted. And maybe you've led teams and you've hit milestones. Maybe you've even run businesses before in the past, but let's be honest, maybe a lot of that's felt hollow and not real. But it's not that you're not grateful, because all of that led to where you are today. Right here, hearing this message. And today I want to show you how your voice, her voice, the voice within, the real one, not the polished, the intuition, the gut, she holds the key. She holds the key to building what actually feels like home, what feels like your truth. And no matter how many times you might, no, maybe it's that, maybe no, I should be, they tell me I should be doing that, I should be saying that. And you always come back, there's that voice that continues to come back, but no, this is what lights you up, this is what excites you. My question to you is, when will you listen to her? When will you start to listen and then trust her? Because that disconnection, that misalignment won't take you as far as that idea that you want, that dream that you have. So if you're feeling like, I'm really good at what I do, but I don't feel like myself anymore. And because the external success without the internal alignment, the congruence, leads to boredom, leads to burnout, leads to avoidance. And your body always knows when something feels off. She knows. Now, I want to talk to you about why that voice within, her voice, is your portal. Because your voice is not just about what you say, it's what you stand for. It's what you allow. It's how you show up. It's when you speak your truth, your next step gets even more clearer. Your voice tells the truth before your strategy does. So, I'd love to hear from you what really landed and resonated for you. And I want to invite you to comment down below or send me an email, send me a message. Even though I might be on the Greek islands, I do check my content, my messages, my emails, because I'm building a business around the life I'm living. I don't go, oh, I'm in Greece, therefore now I'm not doing business. No. My business is a reflection of who I am. My voice is a reflection of who I am. My truth, my messaging is a reflection of who I am. And so when I am traveling, I might not be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but I set everything in motion to support me while I'm traveling so that I can have that business that's built around the life that I'm living. So I want to give you some prompts again, because I love prompts, some self-reflection prompts. I want to leave you with this. Because if something is feeling off and you know that voice within you, she's speaking to you and she's saying to you, I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled, something feels off, then I want you to ask yourself this question. What part of the work I do right now no longer fits? And what part that I do right now I really love? And when you can start to see that in black and white, then you get to make a choice what to do with that information. Because if you strip the titles, the roles, and the shoulds and the coulds, what would you do? What would you want to say? What would you want to teach them? What do you want to create next? And then the next question, if you were to scrap it and start from the beginning, not that you need to do that, right? Because sometimes we get so overwhelmed with all the things and all the noise of what we should and could do that we forget the essence of why we started it in the first place. So coming back to truth, coming back to the soul, what does she want? What is she saying? So if you were to start from the beginning, how would it feel if your brand, your business was rooted in your truth instead of trends? It was rooted in who you are, what you thrive for, live for, excite you, passionate about. But I do want to say this, you don't need to blow it all up. You just need to come back to you, to your voice, her voice. Because that's not just a message, it's a map for you. It's a road map. And if you've seen, her voice is actually my brand. And I want you to know that it's not just a speaking circle. Some women go, well, it's just a public speaking. No, it's a reclamation space. It's a space where you don't just find your voice and speak up and get better at communicating, but you use it to rebuild the work that reflects the woman you become, or maybe the woman you forgot, because she's already and still is within you. So if you're curious or excited and want to know a little bit more about her voice and where that fits in for you, drop me a message, send me an email, and let's see if that is a good fit for where you are right now and where you want to go. I'd love to hear what was your insight in this week's, and I look forward to being in your inbox or on the YouTube next week, same time, same place. Mwah. Bye for now.